Hello, so let us look at number 3 from year 2009, Form A. So let's get started here. First, I'm going to give you a little bit of time for you to read this question. And I'm just going to highlight a few key components of the question here. So we see that the cable company sells the cable by $120 per meter. Now, second portion it says, when you produce those cables, X meters from the beginning of the cable is this expression 6 radical X dollars per meter. Notice that it's per meter. In other words, it talks about the derivative. The word talks about the word per talks about the division, which implies the rate. Hence the derivative. Now, then let us try to tackle the question together. First A. Find the profit on 25 meters cable. Profit, in fact, can be calculated by selling minus the cost. In other words, profit here will be the selling, which is 120 times 25 minus how much did it cost. Since this is the rate, in order for us to figure it out, the actual cost, it has to be integral 0 through 25 for 6 square root of x dx. Now, then we'll try to calculate this one together. So 6 square root of x, that's about it, and the window has to be, knowing these values matter, why don't I go from 0 through 40, how about that? Since it was up to 30, I just went to 40. And then we're going to go for zoom standard, zoom fit, which is equal to 0. Alright, so that's the expression that we end up getting. And if you're to use the calculator here, 7, lower limit will be equal to 0. Upper limit is equal to 25. Then we end up getting basically 500. Now, then we get to realize here 120 times 25 minus 500 became 2500. That becomes our answer. Alright, let us look into part B. Using the correct unit, so that means we need to express in terms of unit, explain the meaning of this in the context of this problem. Since this one talks about the integration of cost. In other words, 25 to 30 talks about the difference between producing 30 feet cable and 25 feet cable. In this case, dollars. All right. Number C. Here, write an expression involving an integral that represents the mighty's profit, which represented in part A, in fact, on the sales of cable that is k meter long. So that means part C, what if I were to write it? P of k, profit based upon k, will be equal to 120 times k minus 0 through k for 6 square root of x dx. That becomes our expression. Now part D. Find the maximum profit. Maximum implies the finding the highest point. In other words, in this case, we can find the first derivative. Now, that means part D here becomes to find the maximum. Oops. We need to find out P prime of K. What is P prime of K? Which in this case becomes 120. And by the, once again, fundamental theorem of calculus, we end up getting that's equal to minus 6 square root of K. Now, we can set this one equal to 0. Then we get to realize that this is rather simple. 120 equals 6 square root of K. Dividing it by 6, we end up getting 20 equals square root of K. Then K becomes 400. Now, then when you do the number line test, K being 400, when K is less than 400, let us say, how about maybe 100. If I have to plug in 100, this becomes positive. If I have to plug in number greater than 400, let us say, how about 900? The 900, the square root of 900 becomes 30. 3 times 30 becomes 180, therefore this becomes negative. In other words, this becomes the maximum, positive to negative. Therefore, I'll find the maximum profit. They want us to actually find the maximum profit here. Then that's when K is equal to 400. So, P of 400 becomes 120 times 400 minus integral of 0 through 400 times 6 square root of x. I mean of 6 square root of x dx. Let us try to evaluate this one. So, that was the expression that we got. And just to evaluate this one, let's increase our maximum to maybe 410. Why not? So that it goes well beyond 400. And we're going to go for zoom fit once again. And we're going to integrate from number 7. Lower limit will be equal to 0. Upper limit will be 400. That's the value that we end up getting, 32,000. So here we have 120 times 400 minus 32,000. Then we get 16,000 becomes our answer. Dollars. That becomes the maximum profit when the length becomes 400 feet. Alright, that's it. I'll see you later.